In the quiet town of Point Pleasant, whispers of an eerie figure with glowing red eyes began to echo through the night. Word spread of a spectral presence, a moth-like creature with a menacing gaze, casting an unsettling pall over the once serene rural town. This was no ordinary tale to be dismissed as mere folklore. The sightings were too frequent, the accounts too similar. The townsfolk, while filled with trepidation, couldn't help but be intrigued. What was this creature? A harbinger of doom, or simply an elusive beast of the wild? As the whispers grew into a cacophony, the story of the Mothman, as he came to be known, reached beyond the borders of Point Pleasant. This was no longer just the town's secret. The intrigue spilled over, captivating a team of investigators who felt compelled to delve deeper into this enigma. As fear grew, so did curiosity, drawing a team of investigators into the heart of this unsettling mystery. A team of investigators, undeterred by the chilling tales, stepped foot into the small town, ready to unearth the truth behind the Mothman. With a blend of skepticism and intrigue, they began their work, delving into the heart of the town's folklore. Each interview with the locals painted a vivid picture of a creature of the night, an entity with glowing red eyes that could curdle the bravest soul's blood. As they dug deeper, they collected fragments of evidence, old newspaper clippings, whispered stories, hushed testimonies, all echoing the same eerie narrative. The town, it seemed, was steeped in a history of uncanny events and unseen horrors. The investigators, fueled by their determination, pressed on. Unexplained noises, shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their vision, none of these deterred their quest for truth. The deeper they delved, the more they found. A pattern of tragic events seemingly linked to the Mothman's sightings. One fateful night, near an abandoned factory rumored to be the Mothman's lair, the investigators came face to face with the creature. They had braced themselves for this moment, yet nothing could have prepared them for the overwhelming presence of the Mothman. Its glowing red eyes pierced the darkness, an eerie beacon in the gloom. The air seemed to thicken, the very atmosphere heavy with a sense of unease. Each breath they took felt like a challenge, a struggle against the oppressive dread that the creature seemed to exude. The investigators found themselves rooted to the spot, their hearts pounding in their chests like frantic drumbeats. Then, the strange occurrences began to intensify. Unexplained noises echoed around them, a symphony of whispers and rustling that seemed to emanate from the shadows themselves. They saw fleeting shadowy figures darting at the corners of their vision, yet when they turned to look, there was nothing. It was as if the night itself was alive, pulsating with an unseen energy. In the presence of the Mothman, the investigators felt a primal fear, a dread that seemed to seep into their very bones. It was more than just fear, it was a sense of impending doom. The Mothman didn't just exist in their world, it dominated it, casting a long, dark shadow that seemed to foretell a disaster yet to come. In its presence, they felt a dread that went beyond fear, a sense of looming disaster. In the aftermath of their encounter, the investigators grappled with a chilling realization. The Mothman, a figure of local legend, was more than just a chilling specter. Its haunting presence was an omen, a harbinger of disaster, its glowing red eyes a dreadful beacon in the dark. The team began to piece together the enigmatic puzzle. Each sighting of the Mothman, the eerie figure with wings that blotted out the moon, was followed by a tragic event that shook the small town to its core. A pattern emerged from the shadows, a cycle of fear and tragedy that seemed to dance with the Mothman's appearances. The investigators' hearts throbbed with a growing dread. Had their curiosity stirred a malevolent force from its slumber? Each unexplained noise, each shadowy figure lurking in the corner of their eyes, seemed to whisper a terrifying answer. Yes, they had awakened something ancient, something dark, something that thrived on fear. The Mothman, once a figure of folklore, had become a living nightmare. Its presence cast a long, ominous shadow over the town and the investigators. They were no longer mere observers of the legend. They were now part of its tragic lore. In the shadow of the Mothman, they were left to wonder, could they stop the impending doom? Or had they merely become the next chapter in its tragic lore?